This is the new BMW M2 Competition, and it's angry. The BMW M2 Competition is now the replacement for the BMW M2 locally. And the biggest difference, aside from being super tail happy, is the engine. So where the old M2 had an N55 engine, this one is now running an M3, M4 style S55. Oh, it's got gargantuan brakes, but it just picks up speed so quickly. But when I say it's angry, I mean it is angry. All the time. There is no way to drive this car subtly. Even if you go and you set it to all the comfort settings, I mean, for the engine there isn't even a comfort, there's just Sport Plus, Sport and Efficient. So we put it in Efficient here. We put the steering, well, you've got Sport Plus, Sport and Comfort. We're going to put it in Comfort here. The gearbox in its mildest setting, and even then it still requires a little bit of wrestling. And that's because the front end is definitely not a regular 2 Series. It really is beefed up. It is bespoke M2 stuff. And we said this a while back when we tested the regular BMW M2, that the front end feels so much better over the regular 2 Series. Even if you take the M240. The M240, a little prone to understeer, this has pin-sharp handling. You're running on massive wheels and tires, and unfortunately, that ruins the ride a little bit. So it is a little bit firm. This is definitely not the kind of car that one takes across country. I'd hazard to say it's not even the car that you use on a daily basis. If you're not going to hit the track, then I'd say go for an M240. But if you're one that likes to run around with their hair on fire, then the M2 Competition is the one you'll want. It is always angry. If it was a dwarf, it would be Angry Dwarf. It doesn't do mild. It really doesn't. It's firm, it's heavy, but it's so engaging to drive. It is a wonderful driver's car. You can get it with a 6-speed manual. We've got it here with the 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. And while a little snatchy and a little difficult to get the hang of, you can sort of work with it. You just need ginger little inputs, because it certainly wants to race away. It wants to really just go out and headbutt the horizon. The motor pulls extremely strong, and they say that it's good for a 0 to 100 of 4.2 seconds. This is thanks to the 302 kilowatts and 550 Newton meters. That's right, a 2 Series with nearly M3 power. That is scary. In this small, compact little body, it really is something special. The interior is, well, largely still just 2 Series, and it's starting to look a little bit dated in my books. It's highlighted by a couple of the M add-ons, the blue stitching and this carbon weave style trimmings here on the dashboard and on the door cards. Seats are nice and hugging, but it's devoid of all the frivolous little electronics that one would expect on the top of the range 2 Series. So there's no lane keep assist. Blind spot warning? What's that? Adaptive cruise? No, not to be seen. It's got wonderful iDrive infotainment system with wireless CarPlay, but that's about where it ends. Because it's a driver's car. It's not about the creature comforts. It's sort of stripped down. This, with a manual gearbox, will be an absolute hoot to drive. This one here, as it's been spec'd, 1.145 million rand. And that's a fair whack of tom to spend on a 2 Series. But you are getting an absolutely thrilling ride. It turns heads with its wide arches and M-body kit. It's aggressive up front, and the Shadowline pack blacks out all the chrome, so it's rather stealthy. It's super fun to drive, even if you do have to wrestle with it each and every time. For the driving enthusiast, I'm just thankful that these sort of cars are still being made. They're coming at a price and it is rather thirsty, but when you're buying a car like this, that is the price you pay. I love it. I think it's a cracking car. I just want the manual.